You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. This is Brian with Tottenham on Tour. This was originally going to be the reaction. It's kind of be a bit of a crossover between the two. The reaction and, of course, straight out of Conte, because we were just blessed with one of the most interesting, fascinating, sad, true press conferences I think I've ever seen from a manager in any situation, in any team. I mean, Conte's known for this, and he's done quite a bit, even just with Spurs in his time. Hence the reason we started doing this show a while back. But well, this takes the cake. I mean, I'm going to save my chat for that about it after I get to the game. First of all, thank you for joining us on this channel. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. All your support is appreciated. We really thank you for everything. Let's talk about the game quickly. I'm not going to get too far into it. We all watched what had happened there, and it was pretty obvious. We had an offense that looked like they wanted to play with not a lot of the ball getting to them. Our midfield, once again, not really being what it needs to be in order to progress the ball forward. Kane, Son, and Richarlison all contributed to some extent. Sorry, not Richarlison. I say Kulusevski. Richarlison comes off, sadly for him, injured in the first 5 minutes, which is an unfortunate situation. I really felt bad for him in the moment. Kulusevski comes on and has a pretty good game. Going forward, pretty good game. The defense in this game was just absolutely atrocious. Eric Dyer, Clement Longley, of course, unfortunately, Ben Davies also gets knocked out, so we lose two of our substitutions early with what looked like a groin strain, so didn't really get much from him. Perisic gets his first goal. So going forward, we're 3-1 up. In the last few minutes of the game, of course, we completely shit the bed for their second goal. And you know at that point, I know I skipped a bunch, but I'm doing it because I want to get to the press conference. We get to they score the second goal, and of course it's a former Arsenal player, Theo Walcott, who does score the goal. And then we bring on Sarr to sort of see out the game, and he gets called for what was never a penalty. There's barely any contact, if any at all. He's looking at the ball. The other player sticks his foot in and dives and gets a call, and somehow the ref calls it a penalty in the first place, and then VAR look at it and still give it. So, I'm not making excuses. Spurs just shouldn't have been there in that position in the first place based on the way they played defensively. So it is, responsibility to Tottenham for being in that situation. But the referees have to take some responsibility. It is brutal. And it's if Conte didn't have his interview, that's the talking point. And it's the talking point in every game. It seems like that VAR and the refereeing is just not functional in the Premier League. Best team best league in the world, and this is what we're getting. But again, I don't want to talk about that too much because as much as I was extremely angry about that, and I was, you can bet on that. It was I managed to try to calm down a little bit because I wanted to be able to have do this video for you guys in sort of a reasonable state, not being completely emotional. Of course, you want to be a little bit emotional because it's football, but I did want to hold back a little bit so that I could speak about it without emotion. Of course, Antonio Conte did not do that. Antonio Conte, he had something to say today, and he had something to say that, first of all, there's a lot of reaction on Twitter. There's a lot of people saying that he shouldn't have said it. There's a lot of people who agree. I personally agree with basically everything he said. I think most of us who understand the problem that's at the club, that starts at the top from our perspective, is the reason why we're in this scenario where, like he said in his interview, 20 years is gone, and this is what Tottenham are. Tottenham don't want to win or don't know how to win, and this is the culture at the club. That's a fact. Whether you like it or not, whether you think he's talking shit or not, whether you think he should be sacked for it or not, which I do, to be fair. And I think he will be. I think he knew that going into the international break. I think that's what has been spoken about and seems to be likely the case. He just put it out on the line. He essentially explained all of the things that we have been saying. Many of us have been saying, not everybody, but many of us have been saying for months, and some of us for years. Mr. Daigle, and a number of others. There's a mentality at this club, or a lack of a winning mentality at this club, that it starts at the top, and Conte is pointing it out. And now what I want to get to now here, and I think this is an important thing, he mostly spoke about the players and the players' mentality and the players and their performances, and being a team of 11, and it being unacceptable. And I think that's true in many cases, or to some extent. It's a strange one, though, to consider that, because at the same time, there is responsibility for Antonio Conte here, and I'm not going to take that away. I think you can have both. You can hold both positions at the same time, and that's not problematic. Conte's management skills, as good as they are, have been suspect to some extent. His substitutions have been poor. His first 11 have been poor. The FA Cup comes to mind. He's made some poor decisions. Of course, he has won more trophies than Tottenham Hotspur probably ever have, or something around there. Anyway, not to get off track, he's right in that the players didn't really play for the badge. They didn't really seem to care too much. Now, is that a case of them potentially being ready for the manager to be gone again? He batted that one away, but I think he's protecting himself there. He batted that away and basically suggested that that's just another excuse, which I kind of also agree with too. So there's, again, you can hold both positions. It's a bit more nuanced than one way or the other. But it's, when it comes to what he's talking about, when it comes to the players, when it comes to the club, when it comes to the comfort level that everybody seems to be at with being mediocre, that's problematic. And I salute him for saying it. Obviously, this means he's probably going to be sacked, and that is what it is. I mean, I expect it, and I think he expects it. What does that mean for Tottenham Hotspur moving forward? It means what it continues to mean for Tottenham Hotspur moving forward. Nobody fucking knows. It's the same shit week in, week out, month after month, year after year. We keep changing managers. I think we've had 19 managers in 22, 23 years with Enoch and Levy as in control of the club. And we've won one trophy in that period of time. Some people accept that because we have a shiny new stadium and a nice training ground, which I do think are very good investments and good for the club, and we should be happy that they exist. But it's unacceptable for this to happen again to a manager who had just won the league the year prior. We're not talking about a Mourinho who maybe has lost his way. We're talking about a manager who just came from another league, who had just won the Serie A, who comes to us, and then this is what we've done. We've broken him as well, which is sad state of affairs. It's the state of Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, it looks like he's gone. Curious, get in the comments. Tell us who you think is going to replace Antonio Conte. Is he going to have? Are we going to see Poch come back? Are we going to see Poch come back temporarily? What's the deal? I'm guessing that they have something in they must have something in play here, because Conte doesn't throw his entire squad under the bus if he expects to be at training tomorrow. Or maybe Tuesdays, or Tuesday, because they probably have the next couple of days off, but shouldn't be giving them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll do another reaction video when the new manager is appointed, because probably going to be in the next couple of days. Could be tomorrow, but I'll probably say Monday or Tuesday. We'll see something like that happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Get in the comments, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Cheers.